Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Theros Beyond Busted. We got some really cool cards here yet again. Seriously though, this one card is really, actually, legit busted. Power level, can't say it enough, very, very, very strong in Theros Beyond Busted. Starting things off, we have favorite of Eros, a 3-drop. Creature, human, soldier, uncommon. It's got the constellation, so whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, favorite of Eros, why can I say that? Eros, I'm sorry. Gains double strike until end of turn. Embercleave. Don't underestimate the power of double strike. Double strike is very, very impactful, as we've seen with Embercleave. All you gotta do is put a bunch of aura, put a bunch of pump spells on this thing. There's cheap auras out there, like 1-drop enchantments. That's really good. Where if this thing were to die, you return it back to the battlefield with, I believe, a +1/+1 counter on it or something like that. Well, that's like an undying mechanic. It's really stupid. Or I think it just comes back to the battlefield. Regardless, cool card. Definitely limited play. Gonna see a lot of play there. At any time this white pops up, this is going to my deck. Really, really cool. We have nothing but enchantments in this set. There's tons of them. Here's an exception. Meow. Bronzehide Lion, 2-drop in Celestia, creature cat. For Deuce, Bronzehide Lion gains indestructible until end of turn. Man, we see a lot of indestructible in this set. When Bronzehide Lion dies, return it to the battlefield. I've noticed there's a lot of the stuff where if something dies, something's coming back. It's an aura enchantment with enchant creature you control, and for Deuce, enchanted creature gains indestructible until end of turn, and it loses all other abilities. It's a 3/3. There's not a whole lot to say about this card. I think it's really good. You're getting 3/3 for Deuce with and after when it dies, ability on this thing. Pretty cool. Give another creature indestructible. Sure, why the heck not? Weird thing, it loses all of its other abilities. So, I mean, any kind of like entering the battlefield trigger, not entering the battlefield, but any kind of triggers on it or whatever the case may be, it's going to lose all that, but it still has its power and still has its toughness. So, you basically got a big dummy on your hands at that point, but it's indestructible nonetheless. Moving along, Mind Rack Harpy. It's a 4-drop enchantment creature. I didn't count them up, but I would say about maybe 40% of the spells in this set are enchantments. It's a guess. Flying. At the beginning of combat on your turn, each player puts the top 3 cards of their library into their graveyard. It's pretty big. I mean, that's at the beginning of combat. Again and again and again. Every single turn, as long as this thing's out there. It's a common. I understand it's 3/2, not the most impressive. But still, that's pretty cool. You don't see that kind of ability every friggin' day. Just throwing it out there. Then we have Elspeth Devotee. That's right. This isn't the Planeswalker decks, but I thought I'd throw it in here really quick. Same with the Elspeth Undaunted Hero. Elspeth Devotee. For 4, creature, human, soldier. When Elspeth enters the battlefield, you may search your library or graveyard for a card named Elspeth on the left here, so you go and tutor up, basically, your Planeswalker, which is, I think, pretty neat. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. Cool. Whoopity-doo. This is a D's card. It's not terrible. There's worse things out there. Sunlit Hoplite. We finally found out what this is. This is, again, in the Planeswalker builds. So for the -2 on your Undaunted Hero, search your library and or graveyard for a card named Sunlit Hoplite. I was wondering what this Hoplite was, and we finally found out. And it goes on the battlefield. As long as it's your turn, Sunlit Hoplite has first strike. Sunlit Hoplite, whatever, you try to do my job, gets +1/+0 as long as you control an Elspeth Planeswalker. Cool. Moving along. Oh, boy. Nightmare Shepard. Extremely powerful. Sorry about the fuzziness of the card, though. Extremely powerful, 4-drop. Already you're getting a 4/4 with flying for 4. That's amazing. Back in the day, this would have been phenomenal. But we're in present time, and creatures are very strong. It's an enchantment, creature, demon. Flying whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may exile it. You don't have to, but you may. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a 1/1 and is a nightmare in addition to its other types. Come on, man. Seriously, that is extremely powerful. Things you could do with these kind of shenanigans here. We have Gary over here and a Yara. So in your devotion build, plus it's already adding 2 devotion as well. You have some kind of strategy like this. You want to be able to sack your Gray Merchant. It's already going to deal X damage, which hopefully X is quite a load like he's carrying. No pun. And you're gaining X life as well. Well, guess what? If you have Nightmare Shepard out, you sack it with you sack your Gary over here with your Yara. It's going to come back. It may only be a 1/1, but we don't care. We're all about what this card does when it enters the battlefield. So you're basically getting a 2-for-1 with a lot of these entering the battlefield triggers on them from these cards. Guys, that's insanity. Like this set is very. It's overwhelming, like overwhelmingly good, and it just don't stop, man. Another example of some shenanigans you can do. Agent of Treachery. You can sack it or whatever the case may be, you know. Whenever another non-token creature control dies, you max out. If you do, it comes back. We don't care it's a 2/3. We just care that we're going to steal our opponent's stuff. So basically, you're getting 2 Agent of Treacheries. But let's say you have something like Yarrick the Desecrated out. It just keeps on going and going, man. You can, like, how insane is that? How many times can we get these weird, crazy, like, how many triggers can we get is the question. This is going to be a set where I'm going to just break the game on Arena in so many different ways. It's not even funny. I've done it in the past twice. Good times. Actually, like, broke, like the screen started flashing really, really bright. I don't want to get too carried away in this, but, like, if you can't have bright flashes in your face, yeah, it wasn't for you. Like, the game slowed. Everything stalled. It was insanity. Moving on, this is a really good card. Nightmare Shepard. Gonna see play. Probably in every single black deck. If you're running black, you better be running a Nightmare Shepard. Throwing it out there. Very strong card. Don't underestimate it. You're going to see it everywhere. Heroes of the Revel. Tell me some other things you would do with that card, that demon. There's tons of stuff. Guarantee you. What else we got here? When Heroes of the Revel enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 red satyr creature token with this creature can't block. All right, that's legit. When you cast a spell that targets Heroes of the Revel, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. It's a 4/4. It's all right, you know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe every time, I mean, you can get the additional +1/+0 if you're the target. I think so. Yeah. It just keeps getting ++ for all your creatures. That's not terrible. Definitely limited. 100% limited. Competitive, I doubt it. I highly doubt. No. Thassa's Intervention. Here's an interesting card. For X and 2 blue mana. It's an instant. Choose one. Look at the top X cards of your library. Put up to 2 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. It's not bad. I mean, you don't want to be paying like 2 or 1. You know, you want to be pumping something into this, you know. And then, or you can counter target spell unless its controller pays twice X, which I'm sure in a lot of instances it's going to be really hard for your opponent to pay that. Probably not when you see some cards I'm about to show you. This card, I mean, from an A to an F, I mean, I'd probably give it like a C+. Your Simic kind of builds would probably want something like this. I don't see why not. And, mono blue, whatever. The case, can go on and on about where it can see some play. I think it's an okay card. Nothing spectacular. A lot of these interventions, they fit their colors good. They're okay. Nothing like crazy over the top spectacular. Here's another of these Planeswalkers. Planeswalker deck cards. Ashiok's Forerunner, 5-drop. You basically just go ahead and tutor up. It has flash. I think that's something cool. But you can go ahead and tutor up your Ashiok Sculpture of Fears with this 3/3 for 5. Fun little decks. You guys ever play a Planeswalker deck? I mean, it's not bad. It's a good time. It's a great way to stay in shape. We have Shadow Spear. Second I saw this card, and remember how long have I been saying it? Probably the last 2 sets. I kept saying, where are my extremely powerful, amazing, good artifact equipment cards? Here's one for you right now. Thank you, Wizards. This thing is one of the most powerful equipments we have seen in a heck long time. It only costs 1 to hit the battlefield. Only costs 2 to equip this. And it has there's a lot of perks. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has trample and a lifelink. For 1, permanents your opponent's control lose hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. So now you can target their gods. You can target stuff that's got hexproof that you normally could not. This is a very, I don't know, what more do you want me to say about this set, man? I mean, for one, you're getting lifelink and trample and +1/+1 with, if you're in, your opponent's got some protected cards, you can get rid of it. You can, we'll see ya. Skidding, skadoosh, all right? Get some removal. Gone. Forget about it. Fugazi. We'll see ya. Adios. Very, very great card. Another very strong, good card. Hero of the Pride. It's a deuce drop. That's right. Cat Soldier. Common. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Hero of the Pride, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. That's cool. It's not bad. I mean, it's not bad. It's okay. It's cool. It's cool, bro. I think they purposely named this Agonizing Remorse. We have another Thought Erasure with a drawback, though. But who cares? All right? You're going to pay 1 life to do the same thing Thought Erasure does, instead of surveilling for 1 and having to have the blue and the black mana. So essentially, we now have 8 of these floating around in decks, or will have 8 cards that just go into your opponent's hand and say bye-bye to a card. Not only that, but you choose a non-land card from it, or from their hand, and exile it, or a card from their graveyard. That's good. That is juicy, my friends. That is great. You're going to see a lot of play. There's so many cards right now that are affordable to just take a look at your opponent's hand, get rid of it. We'll see ya. There's even another one for 1. It's a 1-drop. Well, you have to deal 1 damage to your opponent, but still. Cool cards. Oh, boy. Nyx Bloom Ancient. I know what you're thinking. That mana cost is ridiculous, man. Wait till you see what it does. And there's a lot of ways you can cheat this into play. Trample. Enchantment Creature Elemental. I really like the artwork on this one, too. If you tap a permanent for mana, it produces 3 times as much of that mana instead. Oh, boy. Now, of course, Commander, EDH, Brawl, I mean, that kind of stuff. This is going to be in every single green deck. Period. End of story. You know why? Because we have stuff like this. If you're running, okay, now in Standard, hey, I'm going to make it happen. I'll tell you that right now. I know it's a lot of mana initially to get out on the field. Don't forget there's Nissa in this as well. So let's say you have Incubation Druid down, and you don't have any +1/+1 counters on it, but you have that card down. Add 1 mana of any type. Well, now you're adding 4 mana of any one type. Let's say you had adapted. Incubation Druid has a +1/+1 counter on it. Add 3 mana of that type instead. You're adding 9 mana now. What? From a 2-drop to a, wow. Great Henge. Another thing. You're going to be adding 6 when you tap this for mana. Lotus Field. You're up to 9. And then something like Kiora, where you can untap. That's 18 mana. 18 manas, guys. No, I'm sorry. My math is terrible. Yeah, that's 18 mana. That's a lot of mana. All right. It's ridiculous. Not only that, but it does work with lands. The craziest part about this card is it says permanent. As long as it's tapping, okay? Enchanted Land has tap, add 2 mana of any one color. I think it works with Gift of Paradise. Not 1,000,000,000%. It should. Anything that taps that produces mana 3 times. So now we got 6. Is it Locket? Yes. It even works on these. Even on these mana rocks. Oh, man. The most craziest one from the original Theros. Yes, it's not in Standard. No, it's not. Sorry. Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. The Devotion for Dude. I wonder if this will get a reprint. That'd be crazy, huh? I doubt it, though. For Deuce, choose a color. Add to your mana pool an amount of mana of that color equal to your devotion to that color. So you got like 6. Now you have 12. Well, you pay 6, whatever. You have 6 devotion out to Deuce. You're going to get a ridiculous amount of mana. again and again, every single turn, as when this thing has to stay on the battlefield. It can't be destroyed, yada, yada, yada. I wonder if we can get this out in Pioneer. I'm sure we can. I wonder if we're going to see this branch into other formats. Because, man, there's a lot of ways to cheat cards into play in Standard right now. Harg the Raise Boar, baby. It's a 5-drop legendary creature, Boar God. You know what it does. Whenever Raise Boar attacks, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Tapped and attacking. Return that creature at the beginning of the next end step. You just want to swing in with your Boar. You play, or you don't play, you drop your Nyx Bloom Ancient on the battlefield. Chill. Your second main phase, after combat. Guess what? As long as you got mana or whatever accessible, now you start pumping and dumping. Pound Town Penitentiary. Grabbing ankles. This is stupid. I'm going to play stuff like this. Without a doubt. What do you guys think of that card? I think it's nuts. Definitely nuts. We got Heliod's Pilgrim and Furious Rise over here. On the right, for 3, at the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card until you exile another card from Furious Rise. Not bad. I think it's all right. I think it's going to see some play. Then we have Heliod's Pilgrim. How much? I don't know. Remember, got to be power 4 or greater. When Heliod's Pilgrim enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an aura card. Reveal it. Put it in your hand. Shuffle your library. Not bad, but it is a 3-drop. If that was a deuce drop, I think it'd be really good. And it'd be probably a little too busted, maybe. But, you know, it's not just looking at the top 7. It's your entire library. It's pretty good. It's not putting it on top of your library. It's putting it into your hand. I like it. Then we have Mystical Renewal. It's a 1-drop. Instant. Green. This is stupid. Again, like 40 or 30, 40% of the types are enchantments. Okay? Put target enchantment at the bottom of its owner's library. That's like God removal right there. Now, I know we're not actually removing it, but, I mean, we are removing it from the battlefield. That's phenomenal. Green decks, you're going to 100% probably see this main boarded. I don't see why not. And as well as that, sideboard, 100%. If you're running green, you're running this. There's too many enchantments running around. It's any enchantment. Gods are enchantments. Did you know that? It's crazy. Huge. Whoa! Removed for 1. I'm loving it, baby. I'm loving this set. This set is so ridiculously strong. You got to forgive me. I'm a little bit tired today. Didn't have too much sleep. But that aside, go back a video. Watch the last video. Free cards. Crazy mystery openings. Destruction. I know. It gets crazy. My friend decides to show up. And we get just a little ridiculous. Check out the video. It's going to be right under. Yeah, it's right there. So go check it out. Definitely worth the watch. They're good cards too. Theros Beyond busted. What are your thoughts, guys? I appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you do hit that like button. And if you find this video interesting, share it. You know, teach someone new how to play. Skadink, skadink, skadoosh.